Hey, welcome back to me. Good morning, everybody. On a wonderful Tuesday, I think. I've lost track coming from vacation. Good to see you, Sly. Good morning. Hopefully, everybody finds the show again. Hasn't been that long. I think we can find me, I hope. Good morning, lovely L3. Nice to see you. We'll give it a few more good mornings, but it is about time I got back. Thank you. Good morning, Shana Kirsten. Good to see you. Hello. Yeah, spoiler alert. There's definitely a bit of rain in the air this morning. Good morning. Thank you so much. And thank you for all the welcome backs. I love it. Hello. I feel loved by this community. I really love that because you just never know. You leave for a few days. Is everybody going to come back? Who knows? Okay. Let's get a couple of things out of the way real quick. Happy to be back. Happy you guys are back. I'm going to let you know right now, if you hear something in the background right now, don't have to comment about it. You can tell me about how much it's affecting the broadcast. That would be helpful. But there is a construction project going on upstairs, and that's amazing for them. And we know these neighbors, and they're lovely. And they definitely are very sad that it happens right above the studio. But they're doing a construction project. For about 4 to 5 days or so, they're going to be breaking up the flooring, so it's going to be a bit loud. If you guys can't hear me during the show or it gets real loud, yes, thank you, Laura. I see that. The other thing I can do for a few days or during the construction project is I can move to 8:30 a.m. my time because construction can't start till 9. But again, I'm thankful for this high quality mic I've got in front of me to be helpful with that, and we'll see how it goes. Right now, it's a little bit quieter, so that's good. A couple of minutes ago, I was pretty worried. I couldn't even hear myself. So yes, I am back from vacation. First off, I'm going to cheers that with the coffee cam. Let's do it. Did you miss this? Come on. If you missed this song, admit it. Come on. If you didn't and you needed a break, and it finally got to your head, cool. All right. There you go. So hopefully you missed that. Hopefully I didn't just drive it back into your head. So we'll go with that. But thank you for allowing me my little coffee break. So yes, I am back from vacation. Myself and lovely L3 right there. Had a nice time in Dallas. Thank you. I see you, Lori, Casey, and Cody right there. Again, another big shout out to my dad. It was his big birthday, and we had a nice dinner and got to hang out with him. So good to see you. Of course, amazing to see some friends from my past all the way back to high school, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But thanks again to Melissa. Melissa, I think you might be on. I'm not on. Maybe you're watching it later. But thanks for driving me around town again while Laura was visiting her friends, watching the World Cup with us and the matches, which were so fun. At this great little bar, and hey, and then there you are. That must be Melissa. I don't Oreo C. That's an amazing online scream name on YouTube. Good morning, Missy. This is about you. Good timing. So what I was going to say is thank you for driving me around. My gosh, I'm getting a lot of good mornings there. Definitely thank you so much for hanging out at the World Cup. And oh my gosh, we were sitting there watching the World Cup, and lovely L3, Laura, would really comment on this. She loves magic. And the guy and his wife sat at our table, and he's this amazing magician. And he started doing like hand and eye tricks before the match started. They were lovely. We just had a good time. Got to see a good friend, Pat, who was a friend after college, and just catching up with lots of people. But again, big shout out to you, Melissa, for driving this guy around and putting up with me all day and meeting your new beau, Tim. Awesome to meet him too. He had a great influence on my shirt choices in life. I got picked up a couple new shorts. So what else? Let's jump into it. So listen, this is going to be a commentary. So stay tuned for a second. Hopefully it stays a little bit quiet because I don't do this very often. I don't want to forget first, this is the live look outside. It is raining in Puerto Vallarta. It is cool this morning. I always mention how these slides, the show, the video, the photos always look the same. Today it did not. It got up to a rainy, cool morning in Puerto Vallarta, and that was pretty amazing. Okay, let me jump into it. So this is my commentary this morning, and please feel free to share this, to comment on it, to put it all over social media if you want to. I'm not saying it's going to be the best thing you've ever heard and the most enlightening, but I really have been thinking about this for quite a few days. And with permission, I am sharing the story, I am sharing the photo. And so let's just jump into it. So I do want to share something just a little personal with you this morning. And it's really, for me, it's a story about perspective. Because this past week during my trip to Dallas, I did have the chance to meet up with my high school and college friend, Angela, along with, obviously, as I mentioned, my other close friend, Melissa. And you'll see when I share the video, they're both in it. Now, Angela, let me just get the photo up there really quick. There we are. So I know I can't see your comments right now because that covers them up. I'll remove it and put it up as needed. But now Angela, now she's gone through a hell of a lot. And in full disclosure, we were dating back in college for 3 years, and it was, you just lose touch with people over time. We all went our separate ways. And so now Angela, I learned at this discussion, has gone through a hell of a lot over the years. And recently she was diagnosed with cancer. Once again, she gave me permission to talk about this. She's just an amazing human, how transparent she is. And to be honest with you and transparent about it, going into this lunch meeting, I really didn't know what to expect. But sitting there with her, her mindset, her optimism was just so incredibly uplifting. She's approaching this battle by saying, and I paraphrase, "Look, Brent, I've already gone through so much in life. I'm ready, I'm positive, and I'm going to overcome this too." And talking to her for those hours and hours we spent over eating and over coffee, I absolutely do believe her. But this also created a shift in my mind. As the three of us were sitting there sharing a big old plate of real Texas barbecue from Pecan Lodge, I said it correctly, in Dallas, I started really thinking about perspective. Lately, I've really been caught up in these online debates and arguments, specifically my debates about the style of news here. And it was shared in other groups mostly, and how it's shared with the English speaking community. Some of my comments in the other group recently, I think they got taken a little out of context because there were some deletions and then some reposts. And I don't blame anybody for that. It was kind of a complicated situation. But honestly, that's all beside the point. Good morning, Melissa. I'm glad you could make it here. Sorry, you're right in the middle of my commentary. So, sitting across from Angela and looking at her spirit, I really realized something, and I've made a few decisions because of it. I had that time to think about it, time on the flights coming back, and I'm going to kind of lay them out. A couple of them are slightly redundant. But bear with me again. This is me just kind of spilling things out. So, first of all, it's just not worth it. I'm not going to change anybody's minds. They aren't going to change mine. It's just time to move on and focus on doing the news in the way that makes me feel satisfied. I think that my viewers appreciate it. And knowing also that I'm doing my absolute best for my viewers in this community, in my opinion. Nobody's perfect. Second, I have to realize I can't change anyone else. I can only change myself. I can't change how you do things. I can't change how I do things. And all the debating online isn't going to change any of that. And third, obviously a big one, is life is just way too short and fragile to spend so much time debating people online and going back and forth. And we'll talk about the online forum anyways, and what the issue is and how we can better spend that time. Good morning, Albert. I see you. So life's way too short to spend so much time debating people online. And the fourth one is, like, I'm just not going to let these things nag at me anymore. Again, it's all about perspective and how my perspective and mind is shifting. And finally, let me wrap this up, that personal conversations are really key. And having a personal conversation with Angela face to face, once again, here's our photo. There's Melissa in the front taking that photo, and there's Angela right behind me. Having that personal conversation with Angela also reminded me of the power, the absolute power and necessity about talking face to face rather than back and forth on social media or text, and less online back and forth, and more like, even if it has to be Zoom or if it has to be FaceTime, it's just better for them to have these discussions, and a lot less is misconstrued, and you get the voice inflections, and you probably come out with a lot less anger. People are just kinder and gentler. So here's the big conclusion for me. And my conclusion won't be that short because I always go on. But first of all, I want to say a huge thank you to Angela for opening my eyes and my mind just a little bit more with your incredible spirit. And to thank you, Melissa, who is also in the photo I'm sharing, for your amazing energy and for driving me all around Dallas for days. Your energy is infectious. So moving forward, I just want to assure you all this. I will absolutely continue to share both the good and the bad news as I always have. Again, I think that got twisted out of shape just a little bit, but those who know me do know how I approach the news. But I am going to think long and hard about how I share it because I want to help others live with this kind of positive perspective and outlook that I've currently gained. And so, look, I can't sit here and promise you 100% that this perspective is permanent, but I do truly hope that it is. We will see. But for now, I'm going to look at things with a new set of eyes, a new set of ears. And I know this was a long thing that we don't do in the show very often, but I want to thank you for listening. And I'm about to jump into the actual news stories today. But again, if this positively touched you in any way or positively impacted you and you want to share it, let's just make sure it gets out there like this. This is the real me. This isn't me typing. This isn't somebody typing back. And let's share more of this. Thank you so much, Lori. I appreciate that. And again, monologue is over. But huge thank you again. Again, especially to you, Angela, right here in this photo. Let me give you all a big picture of this one. That's just an amazing shot of us and how amazing she's doing. And keep up the good fight. I'm going to stay in touch with you 100%. 100%. Oh, wrong button push there. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna have a quick sip of coffee. I know the construction's pretty loud behind me. I don't know how that's doing with everybody else, but with that, let's have a sip of coffee. That was a lot. Here's the cheers. Thank you for hanging in there with me for that. Let's do some news. Sorry about the ding. I'm getting a weird ding today. That's not right. All right. First up in the news today is the Special Prosecutor's Office for Missing Persons in Jalisco have confirmed that 3 local students previously reported missing in Puerto Vallarta have been located alive. Following an operational search protocol, specialized investigators tracing the regional movement and electronic platform hence they searched their phones of where they were. Thanks for those kind comments. I appreciate that. They were able to find these girls with their own relatives, safe and sound. Thankfully, I love stories that are concerning but have a positive ending. Again, these are the girls that are found, so happy about that. So while these 3 students have been safely processed and united with their families, state authorities emphasize that search operations always remain heavily active in the area. Law enforcement personnel continue to analyze interviews and regional intelligence to locate another 3 separate unassociated teenagers who went missing during that same week, but federal alerts remain active across Jalisco and neighborhood borders to continue to verify any other sightings. So that's great. 3 of the girls were found safe and sound. Who knows why they ended up with relatives and the communication wasn't there, but that's the positive lift on that story. Love that. That's what we love to cover here. It's not always going to be positive, but that one was. Okay, so on a positively maybe more side, Mexico got eliminated. So I know I'm a day late. The memes are out there. All right, so this is probably almost the end of the World Cup stories for us, but the memes have been kind of funny. The world really did love Mexico. All over Dallas. Yeah, you can hear some of I see that comment. Thank you, John, that you can hear some of it. I'm hoping that you guys can get through this. If not, again, what I'll do is I'll move this show to 8:30 till the construction is over, but thank you. So goodbye, Mexico. We appreciate the memes on the way out. You did your best. We'll move on. Okay. All right. A little bit loud again. I apologize, but here we go. So, Secretary of Infrastructure, Communications, and Transportation reported principal structural framework is now 100% complete. However, official public opening transit week connection by ear with Puerto Vallarta faces delays due to ongoing complementary works on the Jalisco side of the project. Crews are actively completing necessary embankments, final drainage installations, and the continuation of specialized bike paths to properly integrate the regional transit corridors. The project represents a total financial investment that's exceeding about 900 million pesos and generated about 2,700 direct jobs during that active phase. Though contractual stipulations legally allow construction timelines to extend until December 31st, regional technical directors confirmed that personnel are working extended shifts to clear the remaining surface adjustments, and to connect our population of 500,000 residents. You are absolutely, oh no, so people can't understand me. Okay, I'm going to do my best. I'm sorry. I know I'm talking really loud. I know most of you can't hear me. So maybe we'll call it a day. Yeah, okay. If you can hear me, I'm going to cut it. Probably during this construction, we're going to have to move to 8:30 a.m. Really sorry about that, but I do believe, and let me know in the comments, that you guys heard the perspective monologue at the beginning. Sorry for this, everybody. Again, gonna move to 8:30. I'll make an announcement online. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.